Hello everyone from Studio 10 in Kilkenny. Today we will be talking about the amazing actually woman, which one is just here with me, it's Rebecca. But this is, everything what's happened here is a part of the Project David. The Project David, it's diversity awareness and it's something really amazing because we just want to show you like everyone is unique. Hello Rebecca.
Hi Anna, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Tell me something about yourself. Who you are?
Yeah, nice with the interviews. You know, they always ask you that question. That's the one question I just read.
It's always starting like this, like, tell me about yourself. Like, what I can say about myself. Maybe where are you from? Oh, this is the best.
From Kilkenny.
From Kilkenny.
Yeah, I grew up here. And it was age 21 I moved out to the country.
Okay.
And then ended up coming back into Kilkenny, so I'm living back in the same town again about 8 years. But if I wasn't living here, I was working in Kilkenny.
Oh, that's amazing, yeah. And what is your passion at the moment, your hobby, your interest, what you're doing?
His passion would be equality for fighting for the transgender community and to get equality and education. To me, one of my mottos would be education, education, education.
Yes, this is, I think, one of the main points, like education started at home. Yeah. And I was doing little research, and far as I know, you're doing workshops. And that workshops, it's about trans life, yeah?
Yeah, just starting the workshop. Yeah, it's just about trans community in general, just to help educate people. Because like when I first came out, there was nowhere to turn to. I had got two counsellors. They were good, but not educating in trans issues. And then I remember going to one LGBT kind of conference thingy in Kilkenny, and it came up, one youth worker had said to me that yet the issue of counselling is bad in Kilkenny, that any time she gets a client that comes to her, if their son or daughter comes out as trans, they have to go outside of Kilkenny. So the only help that I could get was actually outside of Kilkenny. And not in Kilkenny, so my name first with the workshops in Kilkenny is target all the healthcare workers, community workers, those that are working with people on a day-to-day basis, just to help educate them. Because I know one friend, she was studying to be a counsellor, and she told me even in their training as a counsellor, the subject of transgender doesn't come up unless another student happens to bring it up. Otherwise, there's no education in it.
Do you think it's still like the subject, like the trans life and all the like LGBT community, it's something what we try to hiding and it's something what we don't want to go? What do you think?
I don't know. I think people seem to think for some reason that being trans is all new and but it's actually been around for thousands of years.
Did you ever feel like it's someone just see you, and then realize like, okay, this is the trans life woman, and they was rude for you, or they are expecting something, strange from you? Because if we talk, I see like completely normal person, and we have like a normal conversation, and I see the human.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the reasons I want to do this interview. Just to let people know that why I do talks and stuff is just to let people know we're the same as anybody else. We bleed the same, we're no different.
Exactly. It's the same like about the skin color.
Exactly.
It's no different.
Yeah, exactly. We all bleed red like at the end of the day. Like.
But I think so we live at the moment in the life when it's so easy to judge the other person.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just about your hairstyle or maybe about your skin color, about your tattoos, but I think so like this is everything is your own and your private, what you're wanting for yourself, but you are still a human, just the same human like every age on the street.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like even we'll hit barriers at the start, for example toilets. I've known someone in Dublin, for example, who was beaten up in the toilet, a trans man going into the male toilet and he was beaten up. Same person was walking up Capel Street one night in Dublin, which would be the gay street in Dublin you could walk up, had a glass bottle thrown at him there. Yeah, you have so much, there's still the hatred in Kilkenny. I know at the last Pride in Dublin, apparently there was a trans person beaten up at that, like, afterwards.
And what do you think about all those parades?
Oh, I love them. There's a need for them, definitely a need. Like I can go back to, I can't remember what year, but I happened to be up in Dublin for an exhibition And as I was leaving the exhibition on top of O'Connell Street, there was the Pride was coming down. And I kind of stood, I didn't know what it was first, but I saw this music and it looks fun and fantastic. And then I realised what it was, that it was Pride. And I just started to tear up and started to get a lump in my throat. And I just walked away and I said, I wish I could be part of that. And years later did I realise I was going to be in it.
Good. Do you think Kilkenny is ready for the Pride?
Yeah, I think definitely.
Maybe this is something what we can cooperate together and do it.
Yeah.
Why not, actually?
Yes, definitely. Like more and more counties, like in Carlow, a small little town as well, they put on a fantastic Pride. And Pride is not just about the LGBT plus community, it's about everyone, the whole community in general. Exactly. To me, it's just about love and acceptance and everyone being one.
Exactly. Yeah. When you grow up, do you have any difficult situation in your life when you was a child, when you realize who you are?
Well, I can go, my earliest memory that I can go back to be age 4. And I can only go back and remember exactly that was age 4 because I remember being with a girl in Tramore, a caravan tube was sitting outside, and I remember I had a little red boat and feeling, I knew there was a difference, that I was a girl too, kind of a thing. Yeah. And because I found that picture with the two of us and I happened to turn it over and I said, Jesus, I was age 4. So yeah, different things like that. Another time my best friend next door was a girl and one day I met her with the toilet, and that's when I realised, oh God, she's different. Her body was different than mine. Why is mine different? And yeah, just constantly all those things. I started one after another. That, of course, at the time being young, there was no Google, there was nothing, and kids are a lot more educated than what we were back then, and didn't have a clue, what was going on, what were these feelings, and never talked about it. I
heard about some project, if I'm good to remember, in Germany to, starting very early to explain to children what does it mean being gay, lesbian, or what does it mean if you have a trans life? Do you think it's the good?
Oh, I think it's definitely very good. It's one of my dreams that I'd love to go back to the school that I was in, say secondary school, for example. We always had talks. There was always someone coming in doing some kind of a talk. Yes. And I often thought, I wish someone had come in that was from the LGBT community and started talking, that maybe I would have come out years ago instead of waiting as long as I did.
Okay. And I know it will be easy, yeah? Realize who am I.
Yeah, exactly. That you get to know who you are, and so maybe you might be afraid to come out.
And relation with your parents, it was hard on the beginning because it's sometimes like when I see the situation when the child is born and it's a boy or girl, for the mothers could be like, I don't know, I'm the mother as well, and for me the most important thing is in my life that my children, they are healthy. And I don't care how they will be create their own life in the future. If they are healthy and good humans, I don't mind, seriously. But I know, like, for some people, when they realize, I have a friend who have a son and his son is a gay, and for a long time, you can see that, but definitely. He doesn't show that, and he's so like, no, he's not, and I just say like, yes, just talk with him, and I think so that some parents just really have that moment when they doesn't want it, and they say, no, it's not possible, it's not. And how was your relation with your parents?
For me, I suppose it was a lot different than some. Mine had both passed at this stage when I came out, so it was always it took me months. I was constantly fighting this in my head. What would my parents thought? What would they have been? How would they have accepted it? I believe they would have accepted it. I remember at one stage I was getting my new birth certificate, and I got it in the post office, and I went to the graveyard. Is not far away from where I had to collect it, so I just went up to the graveyard, sat down beside it, and just opened it up and started crying. Thinking, I wish they were here to share it with me.
They are with you.
And that was my way of making them a part of my journey.
But that's amazing. That's amazing. Oh, we will be crying now. Like we, man, typical. No difference. Yeah, that's amazing, actually. Yeah. how you think about them as well.
Yeah, I had my sisters and my brother, and the three of them were just fantastic. Like I told my older sister first, then the youngest one, and then I got I got them to go and tell my brother, because being a man, I didn't know how he was going to accept it. But he was fantastic as well, and has been. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. You are amazing, I see. Like, you are the person who can actually laugh about himself. What is amazing. And my granny, which one passed away a good few years ago, she always said, like, if you met somebody who can laugh about themselves, that means this is the people, like, which one you have to keep closer. Yes. And if someone can't, just run away.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I think so. The acceptation, is the main thing. Acceptation themselves. Yourself, if you accept yourself.
Oh yeah. The acceptance, that took me a long time. Like, I knew I was trans and the whole lot, but still, because of growing up in Ireland, when I grew up in Ireland, it was Holy Ireland. It was all worship in the church. Everyone was, and it was a totally different world. I remember at one stage my counsellor had said to me, "You have to remember, you've had 40 years of social conditioning." And so this is part of the reason, because you've been growing up in Ireland. If you were gay or lesbian, bisexual, that was wrong. There was something wrong with you. You were evil. You were going to hell. So I used to be having these thoughts in my head: "Oh God, I'm going to go to hell. Something's wrong. This is not right. I can't be trans."
I think so. Like, it's still in the 90s, 80s, early 1990 in Ireland, they was completely different. Like, at the moment. Now it's a completely like a different way. Yeah,
for me it was when I can't remember what year it was, but when the marriage equality came out, when we finally got the marriage equality, for me that was the first step where I thought, oh God, this is it. Ireland is changing. Ireland is finally getting away from the church. Maybe now I can go.
That's amazing. What do you think about the marriage? And the, like an LGBT community.
I think
marriage
it's fantastic.
For the few years.
I think it's fantastic like that. It's an awful shame it took so long as it did, and that it actually took a referendum. Like, it should have been there all the time.
But do you think, like, the people which will not agree with that, they doesn't understand why it's so important?
I think people are just miseducated, and are just, unfortunately, there's still a lot of transphobic and homophobic hate out there. That people need to educate themselves.
Because I think so. The main thing is, of course, if the two people, they love each other, they doesn't need a piece of paper to say, like, you are marriage. Sometimes it's better without that piece of paper. But I think so. If they are marriage, it's much better when it's some situation about buying the house, or if some of them it's like a sick and they go to hospital. They only your close family can visit you. And your partner, which one you have like for last 20, 30 years, they can't come in and they can't make decision because it's not your like legal husband or wife.
What happens, I know, with some people in the LGBT community, especially if they get Alzheimer's, when they, say if they're not married, if they go into a home and the family of the people say, oh no, they're not gay or whatever, and they kind of take control. Or people that have been trans going into the home, you say, when they have Alzheimer's, say a trans woman, for example, the family could say, which they have done, might say to the staff in the hospital, oh, don't mind them, their pronouns are he and him, they're not a trans woman. And, just try to claim they're mentally ill or whatever. And it can happen. The first trans person in Kilkenny, I can't remember, offhand what year, I think it was 1925 when they had died. They had emigrated to Australia. They had transitioned in Australia to female. And then one day they were washing her in the mental institution, and they discovered then for the first time that she had male body parts. And then they started forcing her to dress as a male from then on. And eventually, when she did leave that mental institution, she ended up working for, as they call them back then, freak shows, because she was an attraction. And she was well known at this stage because of the media.
But now it's much better.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
all things
And
improved.
it's different as well if in the hospitals at the moment for the trans life people. If they
Well, unfortunately, when it comes to surgical, and it comes to that, and starting the hormones itself, it's a minefield in Ireland. We have to jump through hoops. I'm not going into that because it's a long story, but you have to get a diagnosis first before you can even start HRT. For myself, you say being a trans woman, I'd be on the HRT. But yeah, a cis woman, a straight woman, she can just walk into her GPs and be handed the HRT. But we have to go through psychological assessments. And the main hospital that does it can take up to 3 hours, and that can be... Everyone is different. I was okay, but I will say, and I was talking to one patient after it, it's just psychologically draining after it. And it took me 2 weeks to go over that. But yeah, you have that, then you get through that, and then it gets to where I am now at my stage, I'm going on to the surgical procedure. And for that, again, I'm being put on a waiting list, and I was told it could be again waiting another couple of years to go over. And even with then, for example, trans men, for their top surgery, they're sent to Poland, where they could either be killed or murdered or beaten. So you have this side of things as well, that we have to be, even though we want surgeries, we could be sent to a country where it's endangering our lives. And so, yeah, so the surgical part, the whole, and then even after we have surgery and we come back to Ireland, and if anything happens to us, God forbid, none of the doctors in Ireland, none of the surgeons will touch us. We have to go back to the country where the surgery happened.
That's a little tough.
And we say, like, if you have a minor infection, whatever, you're given leaflets over there in the hospitals. Look, if this goes wrong, what to do. But we have to come back from our appointments and we have to educate our GPs what to do if something happens.
I think so. We have to always educate the GP, even if you came in with something simply.
Yeah, that's true. I've known the trans people, especially in hospitals, are regarding GPs. Like one person here came to me there a few years ago back from Waterford, and they went to their GP and said they believed you're a trans woman, and the reply was, "Oh, just man up, pull yourself together." So unfortunately, we're still getting that with GPs. Now, some GPs, mine has been fantastic, but I said I just hear nightmares still from other GPs. Or some people have gone to their GP and again have said, "I don't know what to do or where to send you. What do I do?" You have to go off and research it and come back and tell me. So,
hopefully, everything will be better and better.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the people they start to respect themselves.
Yeah.
This is the most important, I think.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
yeah. And start thinking about if someone is a little bit different than that doesn't mean they are crazy. They are sick. They are just the people, and that's it.
Yeah, just normal people.
Normal. I don't know if we can use that word, normal.
I don't know. Yeah, I use it as normal.
That's okay. If you use that, that's been I
can all a bit crazy as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what do you wish to yourself for future? How you want to see the life actually?
Just to find happiness. Well, I am happy being trans, but just to find happiness, settle down.
And peaceful.
Peaceful.
Yes.
Yeah, peaceful, happy, loving life. Yeah.
That's true. Yes, because sometimes, you know, I see like if there is like a little boy which one wants to play with the dolls, the parents say, "Oh my God, no, it's wrong."
Crazy.
But it doesn't mean like something's happened in the future. That
exactly.
I think so we can teach something as well in that way.
Like I always remember being funny. I was up in the Outhouse in Dublin. The Outhouse is the LGBT centre in Dublin, and I was there for I forget what I was there. I was there for a talk or a workshop or something. I was chatting to one woman and thought it was funny. Her son is a trans man, but she said she happened to go to a gender reveal party the week before this talk, and she said to me she was there when they're revealing the sex of the child, and she said, "But really, are they really?" Yeah. So
thank you very much for your time. Tell me how the people can find you actually, and they can come in and join your workshops.
Yeah. Well, I have a Facebook page called Friends Life.
We can find it there, Facebook.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. Just put in Friends Life Kilkenny, and I tried it myself on Google, and it's the first thing that comes up on it.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank
I
you,
wish you
Ania.
all the best.
Thank you.
And I wish you the first the people then they start to respect everyone.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how
Yes,
we
God.
look and if we are from the LGBT community or if we have a different color or even like a different accent like me. just respect.
Exactly, yeah. So we're all
Thank you
human.
so much.
Thank you very
That was
much.
a pleasure
Thank
for
you.
me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.